Family and friends, thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome to you all to the beautiful Park Hyatt. Whoa. Come in from the back. You can come in a little bit closer. You can squeeze in around the sides if you like. Wow. There you go. Good? Good. What a good looking crowd we have here today. Family and friends, before I get this amazing ceremony underway, I think this young man here, the groom of the day, deserves a round of applause. Give it up for our groom. Get up for Jonathan. Just so cool, so casual. Hands in the pockets as if it's just another Sunday afternoon. Oh, Fokumeo. You have no idea what's just about to take place. All right, so family and friends, I have finally caught a glimpse of what I can only describe as an absolute stunning bride. She is absolutely bada bing. Right? Bada boom. But you see, she's a little bit nervous. Just a little bit nervous. So what I need for all of you to do, after our gorgeous little page boy walks down the aisle, and as soon as Rosie and Dad come up onto the step and onto the white carpet, I want all of you to give her as much encouragement with the most loudest round of applause you could ever muster up. Is that good? Absolutely, yeah. Just raise the roof off the Park Hyatt. So, family and friends, without any further ado, please cast your attention to our far corner of our courtyard here at the Park Hyatt. And let's make welcome the entry, of course, of our gorgeous little page boy, Alessandro, and then the moment of moments, our stunning bride. Family and friends, please be upstanding for our beautiful bride, Rosemary. Thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for our beautiful bride, Rosemary, everyone. Welcome her to the ceremony. For those of you who do have a chair, you're more than welcome to make yourselves comfortable. I need to do one thing for Jonathan before we start. He's got one big beelu. So family and friends, officially good afternoon and welcome to the beautiful and iconic centre that we are, that is of course the Park Hyatt. For today it is to be a historical day, being the first day of Jonathan and Rosemary's lives as husband and wife. On behalf of their families, thank you very much for being part of what promises to be truly a spectacular afternoon. My name is Dean Sindoni. I'm your authorised celebrant for this afternoon. And both Jonathan and Rosemary have given me the honour and the pleasure in presenting to a ceremony that can assure you all right here, right now, will be full of many memorable moments. So welcome to you all. Both Rosemary and Jonathan have brought us here together today for a great celebration, an occasion of great joy. Having found each other, they've built a kind of relationship that will serve them well as the foundation for their marriage. They've chosen each one of you to be here with them to witness their wedding vows as they join together in husband and wife. Marriage is a bold step into an unknown future. It is risking who we are for the sake of who we can be. In marriage, two lives are intimately shared, and the blending of the two must not diminish either one. Rather, it should enhance the individuality of each partner. Each of us knows that a marriage is not created by a law or a ceremony. Rather, it occurs in the hearts of two human beings. It grows out of loving, caring, and sharing ourselves with one another. Now, this ceremony is not magic. It will not create a relationship that does not already exist and has not already been celebrated in the commitments that Rosemary and Jonathan have made to each other so far. So in witnessing this ceremony, we're observing only an outward sign of an inward union that already exists. This ceremony is a symbol of how far they've come together and a symbol of the promise that they will make to each other to continue to live their lives together and to love each other solely and above all others. Now, can I ask one question? Why are you standing so far apart? That's it. That's what I like to see. Just at least pretend you love each other for now, and then we'll get the rest sorted out soon. Now, Rosemary and Jonathan, before you're joined in marriage in my presence and the presence of your witnesses, your friends and family here today, I must remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship that you both are about to enter. For marriage, according to law in Australia, is a union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. Now, Rosemary, tell everyone, how much has Jonathan forced you to be here today? Just a little bit? No. I think the smile says it all, doesn't it? I say no lies. So, family and friends, Jonathan first contacted me quite some time ago and asked me to be here today. So when I finally caught up with him a few months ago, I asked him so many things. We caught up at a little cafe in Richmond and had a drink and spoke about life and spoke about the wedding. But what I wanted to know from the both of them was very, very simple. And I asked them a whole heap of questions, but the main question was, what is it that you wanted from your wedding ceremony? Now, Rosemary, like all brides, wasn't too fussed, but she came back to me with a few words. But Jonathan, he was the one that probably surprised me the most. He came back to me with about a 4,000-word essay of what he wanted from today, to the detail. So what I wanted to know was a little bit about them, where they first met, what made them tick, so that I could write a little story about them so I can share that with you. So, with the information that Jonathan has given me, the story that I've prepared reads as follows. You can plan your life to the last detail and trust your heart will lead the way. Sometimes love itself comes to you in unexpected ways. How do you know that you've fallen in love? Is it at first sight? Is it on your first date? Or is it at that first kiss? The answer is simple. You cannot plan love. Now, both Rosemary and Jonathan have been together for 4.5 years, and they met on the 18th of August 2018. They first met at an outdoor bar on one of the Greek islands whilst on holidays, and Jonathan was with a few of his friends who are here today, Josh and Andrew and Stasio, and Rosemary was with a couple of her friends as well. It was just after midnight when Jonathan walked up to Rosemary to introduce himself. Rosemary was in this spanking red dress and high heels, which caught Jonathan's attention. They got talking and were inseparable for hours. But it was too bad that Jonathan had a flight 6 hours later, so unfortunately it was quite a short encounter. But you see, Rosemary, she was mesmerized by his warm smile and his kind eyes. She wanted more. Jonathan knew right there and then that it was her hand he wanted to hold, her lips he wanted to kiss. For Jonathan, it was boom shakalaka. They maintained contact on a daily basis during August and September and met in London late in September when Jonathan returned from his 6-week holiday. They spent the next few days together, and Rosemary met some of Jonathan's close friends on his final night in London, and then joined him at the airport when he was about to leave prior to his flight to Melbourne. exactly 4.5 years ago. They continued to communicate on a daily basis, often multiple times a day, and it wasn't long before Rosemary booked her own flight to Melbourne to see Jonathan again. Rosemary arrived in Melbourne for a short holiday in late December 2018, and whilst they'd not had originally planned, she ended up meeting his entire family at his parents' place for his 31st birthday. They visited Hanging Rock together and talked about the future life, which unfortunately would need to be long distance for the time being. And then Jonathan visited Rosemary once again in the UK later in the year. They continued their long distance relationship until Rosemary decided to try a move to Melbourne in February 2020, and they've been inseparable ever since. Through COVID, they spent significant time alone together, and despite these unconventional circumstances, this has made them stronger as they supported each other through these very difficult times. And by being through this experience, they know that they will live a long, fulfilled life together. They enjoy the simple things whilst together, grabbing a coffee at any time they want. In actual fact, probably Rosemary can't start any project without having at least 1 or 2 coffees, which ends up about 10 by the end of the day. They go for walks and they try new restaurants and they love hiking. But Jonathan and Rosemary had visited a number of places around Australia and around the world whilst together. Portugal, Spain, Lebanon, France and Italy, and they hope to have many more adventures in the years ahead. Jonathan took his time to find that right ring for Rosemary. He wanted it to symbolize something special, and that something special was their priceless love. He had planned to propose to Rosemary on the 3rd-year anniversary from the date that they'd met. However, Dictator Dan had some different plans. And they just didn't feel right for him, so he waited another 5 weeks with the ring safely tucked away in his desk drawer. He was driving home one morning. The sun was shining. It was a blue sky, and he felt that this was the day. Jonathan and Rosemary had planned to go for their first ever picnic date that afternoon in St Kilda. And what a better time to propose. Jonathan hadn't actually planned on how he would propose, so he'd organised a lovely basket of multiple little bits of food. He went through the details: salami, cheese, bread, Rosemary's favourite wine, Malbec, of course. And he hadn't really thought through how he would do it. So 3 to 4 hours had passed by, enjoying the afternoon sun. The weather changed, and Rosemary had had enough. The wind picked up. She said, "That's it, I'm over it, let's go." She started packing up, but on her way back from taking the rubbish out, she saw in a distance that Jonathan was on one knee waiting for her, with the ring in his hand, asking her to spend the rest of her life with him. With tears in her eyes, of course, she said yes. Jonathan loves Rosemary's confidence. She can walk into a room and strike a conversation with anyone, from the youngest person to the oldest, regardless of their social status or experience. He loves her strong passion and zest for life. Rosemary loves Jonathan's attention to detail, all the little things that make up every piece to his puzzle. She helps him see the beauty in simple things and not be lost in what can often be materialistic and superficial. Rosemary claims that Jonathan is much funnier now than he was when before they first met, as her sense of humour has rubbed off on him. Jonathan says that Rosemary loves to fall asleep on the couch in the first 10 minutes of watching a film, even though 90% of the time she is the one who chooses the film herself. Rosemary is very different to Jonathan. She's very outgoing, can capture an audience naturally, and is a risk taker, whereas Jonathan is naturally more reserved. Given her life experiences, she keeps Jonathan grounded and ensuring he remembers the simple things in life that are often important. They challenge each other to be the best version of themselves. And while she can often be his toughest critic, Rosemary has Jonathan's best intentions for him and loves and supports him mentally and emotionally. They've been through a range of challenges and hurdles over the last 4.5 years. They've stayed committed to one another and pushed through. Whilst it hasn't been easy, they know that their life together will be a real adventure, and they can't wait to officially start their future together. So they see they don't only make a great couple, they make an awesome team. And a journey that started some 4.5 years ago started with a dream and a possibility that every once in a while, in the middle of an ordinary life, love shall give you a fairy tale. And this is just the start of Jonathan and Rosemary's fairy tale. And I'm sure, Lord, join me in wishing them all the very best for a grand and successful life together as husband and wife. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Jonathan and Rosemary, I'm going to ask you both a very important question. This is where you tell everyone how much you love each other. I'm going to ask you one question. Jonathan, you can go first. So do you, Jonathan Anthony Gerace, in the presence of your friends and family, take Rosemary Yusuf Shidiak to be your wife? You can hold her hand. Good idea. Will you love and respect her? Be honest with her. Encourage her to be no other than herself. Keep saying, I love you, good morning and good night, so that you can share your life together. Round of applause, correct answer. Woo! And do you, Rosemary Yusuf Shidiak, in the presence of your friends and family, take Jonathan Anthony Gerace to be your husband? Will you love and respect him? Be honest with him. Encourage him to be no other than himself. Keep saying, I love you, good morning and good night, so that you can share your life together. I will and I do. Round of applause for our beautiful bride. So family and friends, the formal exchange of wedding vows is the most ancient part of any wedding ceremony held throughout the world. These are words that couples for centuries have spoken to one another. And while they're very simple words, they have extraordinary meaning and importance. Rosemary and Jonathan, as you speak these words to one another here today, you'll discover that these are truly sacred promises, and sacred promises must be kept forever.
Thank you. Rosemary. Whilst this might feel like the start of an adventure, we've already been on one for a little while, and so this is just the next chapter. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, to look after you, protect you, keep you safe, and to just enjoy life with you like we have for the last 4.5 years. I love you with all my heart and all my soul, and I can't wait for what the future holds for both of us. I love you always.
Pass it over to you. Want me to hold it for you? It's right there. Are you going to be okay with it or not?
I think I'm fine.
Okay, good. You got
Thank
this.
you. I got this. I got this, Dee. Jonny. Jonny. From the moment I met you in that island in Greece, I was curious about you. I was patient about you. And I was sure about you. These are the exact same feelings I have today. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done for me. Everything, being from the UK and coming here and supporting me so much just to be with me. I love you so much, and I can't wait for our life together. I promise to be your partner, your best friend, and your wife forever and ever.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Oh, don't tell me he's sleeping. So who's got the rings now? You've already got him. Yeah, he did his job. He delivered the goods. He delivered the goods. Oh my God, you got to see him, everyone. He's such a cute little thing. Okay. Family and friends, marriage deepens and enriches every facet of life. Happiness is fuller, memories are fresher, commitment is stronger, and even anger is felt more strongly, and yet it passes away more quickly. Marriage understands and forgives the mistakes life is unable to avoid. It encourages and nurtures new lives, new experiences, and new ways of expressing a love that is deeper than life. When two people pledge their love and care for each other in marriage, they create a spirit unique unto themselves, which binds them closer than any spoken or written word.
Jonny, you are my best friend. You are the one that I laugh with, live for, dream with, the one I will love forever. I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. Take you with all that I am and with all that I have.
Rosemary, you are my best friend. You are the one I laugh with, live for, dream with, and the one I will love forever. I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. Take it with all that I am and with all that I have.
Is it on? I can't see. Good. So family and friends, with our vows and our wedding rings exchanged, it does give me great pleasure to now pronounce Jonathan and Rosemary's husband and wife. You can have a pash. Woo woo! Hey, 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 hey. You can now update your Facebook status, all right? Very good. All right. All right. Give them another round of applause, everyone. They did an amazing job. There's your bride and groom, husband and wife, Rosemary and Jonathan. All right, so we're going to be signing some documentation. We're just to my left over there. Don't go too far away because I have some important information in relation to the conclusion of our ceremony and the commencement of your reception this evening right behind us in the Trilogy room. So free to chat amongst yourselves. Don't go too far away. We'll be back in about 3 to 4 minutes. Thank you. This way, guys. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Oh, look, the champagne is flowing. The sliders are going. Oh, come out to the front, Rosemary and Jonathan. Come up to the front. I've got, oh. Who's got a drink and who needs one? Everyone's got one so far? Good, because I think we're going to propose. It seems that our bride and groom are already on the whiskies, which is great. So family and friends, before we farewell, we welcome them as husband and wife, but farewell them out of the courtyard. Just to let you know, feel free to stay in the courtyard and chat amongst yourselves until, well, for the next, say, 50-odd minutes, where you'll be ushered into the trilogy room for the commencement of this evening's reception, where you'll be entertained by the beautiful Carla Troiano and her band. She'll have you dancing pretty much for the entirety of your evening. Stay around the complex in the vicinity, and we'll have some photos during the course of the evening. Also, those of you who do have a drink, we would love to propose a toast to our bride and groom. So raise your glass as we propose a toast to our bride and groom, Jonathan and Rosemary. May your lives be filled with many great times. May every road be smooth. And may you continue to inspire each other to many beautiful, grand, and spectacular things together as husband and wife.
Salute, cent'anni!
E figli maschi. 3 cheers, everyone. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Make a round of applause for your bride and groom. There they are. There's your certificate. Hold on to that. Beautiful. Thank you, Carla. Salute, viva gli sposi.